The woman wanted to get her hands on her husband's billions, so she poured an entire bottle of poison into the wine. But just then her husband suddenly showed up and pulled her into his arms. Luckily the woman moved fast, so he didn't notice anything unusual. But because of this surprise, she forgot which glass had the poison. Watching him drink the wine without a care, she silently prayed for the poison to kick in, but the husband suddenly stopped eating.
I want to propose a toast.
What?
A toast.
The woman panicked instantly. She quickly lied and said she felt dizzy and nauseous, but the clueless husband insisted she take a sip, because it was their 7th wedding anniversary. He didn't want her to ruin the moment. Seeing she couldn't get out of it, she picked up the glass, and just as she hesitated on what to do, her husband suddenly gripped her hand tightly, then started shaking all over. That's when the man finally realized his wife had tried to kill him, but it was too late for regret. With the last bit of strength, he crawled to his wife's feet, begging her to save him, but instead of helping, she just stood there and watched him die. She then immediately called her lover and told him everything that happened. Turns out the whole thing was planned by the two of them. Soon after, the police arrived at her house and began investigating the cause of death, but the woman stayed completely calm because the poison she used was given to her by Charlie, who's a doctor. It makes the victim appear as if they died from a heart attack, and the toxins vanish within minutes, so there would be no evidence. Seeing no signs of foul play, the police quickly ruled it an accident. With Charlie backing her up as a medical expert, they just offered her some sympathy, then closed the case in a hurry. Early the next morning, she held a fancy funeral for her husband, even pretended to cry her eyes out. But that night, she couldn't wait to move in with Charlie. What she didn't know was that the poison didn't fully kill her husband, and he woke up inside the coffin. Rainwater had seeped in and woke him up. He started pushing on the lid with all his strength, but the nailed-down coffin wasn't easy to open. As the air got thinner, he struggled to breathe, and his arms grew weak. But thinking about what his wife did filled him with rage, and he smashed through the lid with one punch. His luck came from his wife choosing the cheapest coffin possible. After some effort, he finally climbed out of the grave, taking deep breaths of fresh air. It felt like he had been reborn, and the first thing he wanted to do was get revenge on the woman who betrayed him. But the door lock wouldn't budge. Looking through the window, he saw his wife on a date with Charlie, but he knew he couldn't take them both on just yet, so he held back his anger and left. But his figure was spotted by the wife. Luckily the dog outside barked a few times, and the heavy rain made it hard to see, so she thought it was just the dog scratching the window. Little did she know, the man had already climbed in through the garage window and was hiding in the basement. After resting for the night, he felt much better, and while she went to work, he opened the fridge and started eating. But halfway through, he heard a car outside. He knew she was back, so he grabbed the shotgun near the basement door, ready to get his revenge. But his hand slipped, and the bullets scattered all over. As he bent down to pick them up, the wife had already returned to the bedroom, changed clothes and was ready to leave. By the time he loaded the gun and came out, the sheriff suddenly showed up at the house. To be polite, she went to the fridge for drinks, but noticed some of the food was missing. Feeling guilty about killing her husband, she didn't think too hard about it. She just wanted to get rid of the sheriff quickly. The sheriff offered some words of comfort, and was about to leave, but ran into Charlie at the door. Charlie lied and said he came to check on her health, so the sheriff didn't suspect a thing. Once he left,